Former head of the FBI, James Comey, lied to Congress and now has multiple charges according to the indictment and arrest just breaking across the news. Now, you might think that CNN and MSNBC would be feeling the blues about all of this. But what if I told you, no, that's not true at all. In fact, it's Celebration Station over on those channels behind the scenes. And why, you ask? Well, they finally got a ratings darling to help them take on Fox. To survive, maybe even thrive. And his name is Comey.
There's reaction from one MAGA account with 1.3 million followers saying this is exactly what I voted for.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to give the news that you need to know often, days ahead of the drive-by journalists. And today we're going to dissect those same journalists and tell you why CNN and MSNBC are giddy, I say, behind the scenes about James Comey being arrested. Now, you probably think, bro, you're crazy. They're not celebrating. They're dire. They're dour. They're sour and telling us all just how this is the hour to save democracy. Fight back. Folks, they love it. And we're going to show you why. Are you ready to make a dive into something that nobody else is going to tell you just quite yet? Let's set the script, ladies and gentlemen. Click that like button. Let's dive in right here. From Maynor. Says the day after Joe Biden was sworn in as president, James Comey was calling for Trump to be thrown in prison. All right, let's play it. Here we go. Here's James Comey, who now has been arrested and former head of the FBI. Folks, if you came here for politics, we're actually going to something more interesting, and that is the narrative formation across the legacy media. Here we go.
Bar him from future service, have the prosecutors, the local prosecutors in New York, pursue him for the fraudster that he was before he ever became president, lock him up for the garden variety frauds he did there, but don't give him that center stage, that dominant role in our national life just down the street from where Joe Biden is trying to heal this nation.
So there is your totally nonpartisan, unbiased former head of the FBI. He's a hack. He's a hack. He is infected with TDS. And of course, folks, you all know that because Comey was fired by Trump and he can't get over it. Okay, going to Colin Rugg. What you need to know about all this, again, set aside the politics. I want you to know this man, this James Comey, loves the camera. He loves it. He can't stop. Like a giant mosquito in the middle of the night who spots a bug zapper. This guy will knock you down. He will send grandma flying through the air if he has to, without a care, to get to a camera. Here he is again. Now James Comey knows that he's going to be indicted and arrested. So what does James Comey do? Well, he releases a video, of course, because that's what you should do. You shouldn't be calm and quiet and let your attorney handle everything. No, give me a camera, says the former head of the FBI. Narcissist, hubris, you bet. Here's James Comey, and then I'm going to tell you why it matters to CNN and MSNBC.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid, and I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's do it, baby. Trial time. You all know, of course, all about the lawfare that was taking place over the country over the last 2-3 years. You know about it. That, I think, is going to get exposed, and that was going to be a win in the column for Fox. But CNN and MSNBC, they've got a chance now to survive. Their ratings are absolutely in the gutter, but they see this and they say, we've got a chance. Now, from Catherine Herridge, she says, by the way, Catherine Herridge is just a phenomenal journalist who has bounced around different places for telling the truth, and the corporations sometimes don't like that. She says, I understand the indictment was ready to go. I'm told all the evidence was there. Not a shaky criminal case. You hear this? Okay, Catherine Herridge is somebody that we can trust. She's earned it, folks. She's earned it. Sometimes she makes the left mad, sometimes she makes the right mad. The corporations bounce her around because she's an awesome journalist, but she also just tells the truth. But she says this is not a shaky criminal case. Critics of former U.S. Attorney Eric Seibert allege he was blocking or slowly walking the charges. Interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan removed the blocks. And Director Cash declassified FBI leak investigations, codenamed Arctic Haze. And this is going to reveal that, allegedly, and he has the presumption of innocence, reveal that Comey's role authorizing media leaks through his FBI subordinates or through his Columbia Law professor Richmond with SGE, that special government employee status. Now, I don't mean to get into the news and tell you, I'm not trying to be a pundit in politics and tell you whether or not this is going to work. I'm not a legal scholar either. So I'm not going to tell you whether or not he's going to be found guilty or innocent or any of that kind of stuff. But boy, oh boy, do I know the media. And boy, oh boy, do I know ratings. And that's where we're going, folks. Thanks for hanging with me while I get there. Thank you. I need people to understand what's happening because some of our viewers don't know who James Comey is. You may have forgotten. You may not know the details of why he's being arrested or indicted or any of that kind of stuff. So I just need you to know what it is we're talking about. And this is where I really want to get to. Folks, MSNBC and CNN have been struggling in ways that are just hard to fathom. And they're struggling so badly that their parent companies have spun them off. And what that means is they kicked him out. They kicked him out of the house. Okay? So CNN is owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has kicked CNN out. CNN's on its own now. It's in its own separate company, right? Same thing has happened to MSNBC. Kicked out of what? Huh, you all know. NBC Universal. Comcast, right? Kicked out. Now it's going to become MS Now. Kicked out. They're going to be run by now a brand new company called Versant. They're having a bad time and they have to find something to get the ratings. I'm going to play this clip in just a minute. I want you to see how they're handling this. And I'm going to explain why they're doing what they're doing. First, let's go to TV Insider by Martin Holmes. MSNBC, Fox News, and CNN ratings revealed after Charlie Kirk shooting. Don't go anywhere, I promise. By the end of this video, all of it will make sense. All the dots will be connected. We don't have to pull out a chalkboard behind us. Folks, trust me, we'll get there. No problem. Fox News, this is talking about in the aftermath of the national tragedy, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Here we go, folks. According to Adweek, citing Nielsen's ratings for the week of September 8th, Fox News averaged 3 million total viewers and 418,000 total viewers in the demo in the aftermath of the national tragedy, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That was up 55% in total viewers, 155% in the demo. So 3,418,000 in the demo. Okay? And we believe that this news cycle is going to continue. We don't think this is going to stop of people covering the fallout of the Charlie Kirk assassination and what's going to have to happen from the right. So the Fox News crew is engaged. Conservatives are engaged. MSNBC, on the other hand, in the aftermath, averaged only 867,000 total viewers. More importantly, though, 75,000 in the demo. What does that mean? It means that after Charlie Kirk's death, MSNBC was trailing Fox News in the demo. That's what matters. Fox is quadrupling them. Actually, they're doing more. Fox more than quadrupled MSNBC. And if we go to CNN, it's just about exactly quadruple. CNN had 112,000 in the demo, 615,000 total primetime viewers. Okay? Everybody hanging with me now? We had a big news item that happened. It's a tragedy. Nobody's taking, our side is not taking celebration in it. There's about 10 to 15% of the population that is. That's awful. That's terrible. It's ghoulish. It's ghastly. But Fox News just destroyed CNN and MSNBC. Well, what do they need? They have to find a way to get back into the ratings because now their parent companies don't own them anymore. They're off on their own. They have to get ratings. They can't continue to be abused by Fox this way. It's too terrible. Well, they found it. James Comey loves the camera. And the news, the news channels love a guy who loves a camera, especially when he's a former bigwig inside the Bureau, and he's now been arrested and indicted. That means a trial, and they are excited about a trial. Now, Gunther Eagleman says, MSNBC is melting down over MAGA, celebrating the coming indictment against James Comey. I'll show this to you, but I want you to understand as you watch it. I want you to understand the meta-level analysis. Okay? We are not here to look at the veneer. We are not here to stop at the facade. No, we go beyond every single time. As you watch this, I want you to understand that the personalities of MSNBC and CNN, they have to play the game. The game is enrage their viewers so those enraged viewers will be engaged in the trial coming up for 6 months, for a year, for however long it takes. And boy, oh boy, if more people get indicted based on some of this stuff, right? But you got to get them mad so they'll be glad to tune in the next time and the next time and the next time. You got to turn these people back into daily viewers of CNN and MSNBC. So as we play this, that's what's happening. That is the game that's being played. Now, are these people true believers? Sure. But the executives behind the scenes, they know that James Comey going to jail is ratings gold for them and might let them keep their jobs. Here's MSNBC's reaction.
What the allegations are.
So we're seeing reaction online. There's reaction from one MAGA account with 1.3 million followers saying this is exactly what I voted for. Also, dear James Comey, retribution is coming, TikTok. And then they post sincerely 77 plus million MAGA patriots. How is this different, the way that Donald Trump has influenced or set up his Department of Justice this time around, Carol, compared to the last term?
Now, we're not going to play the rest. We don't care about the analysis. What we do care about is, folks, they won't even tell you which account it is. They put it up on the screen because what they have determined is, if they let their viewers know who said it, their viewers might go read this stuff and a few of them might get converted, or they might think, this person's not as crazy as I thought. So we are now down to the point where CNN and MSNBC, in order to engender this fury, they will tell you that there's some random account out there that's got, however many followers, and here's what they said that we'll select, but you're not allowed to know who it is. We can't entrust you with that kind of information. Also, the MAGA stuff, folks, I'm so tired of us doing these labels where the left thinks that if you label somebody with something that it's, what would you say? They have associated the term MAGA with some of these very terrible phrases that are being written on items that are used to kill people. And those, these messages that are being written on the casings, I don't like at all how this game is being played of MAGA equals this, MAGA equals that. I don't like this system. I think it creates a dangerous society. But they need to enrage their viewers. Okay, CNN is losing their minds over Comey's prosecution, according to Svetlana Lokova. Here we go. Here's what Jake Tapper has to say. Jake Tapper wrote a book, right, telling you that Biden was cray-cray. Wrote a book about Biden was cray-cray. What's he got to say?
And just to be clear here, President Trump wanting a prosecution of James Comey, does it matter what the charge is, or he just wants his political enemies charged with something?
Well, I think to prosecutors it matters. I mean, I don't think that the president is necessarily the closest observer of the criminal law, but I do think that for prosecutors, they realize there has to be a case that they can argue.
Now, what you need to know is the narrative is already being set on MSNBC and CNN. MS Now it'll be for the prior. They are setting the narrative right now that this is silly, it's frivolous, there's no way, this is coming from the orange man, James Comey is going to be a political martyr, et cetera, et cetera. They're not telling their viewers, again, what I showed you. And remember, I showed this to you from Catherine Herridge, not because I'm trying to take a side, not because I'm trying to be a political pundit, but again, see, I told you we'd connect these dots. I need you to understand. The reality coming from Catherine is that this is not a weak case and that they've got stuff. Now, will he be found guilty? I don't know. Is Catherine Herridge, does she have this accurately? I don't know. But I know that Catherine Herridge is a serious journalist, maybe one of the most serious journalists of our time. This is what Catherine Herridge is saying, is that, hey, this is not a shaky criminal case. And the media is reporting it's a shaky case. Why are CNN and MSNBC reporting it in that way to their viewers immediately? Well, if you are going to enrage in order to engage viewers, if you are going to try to create a news narrative that will carry you for the next year, you got to get people mad. And how do you get people mad? You switch the script to say this man is an innocent person being persecuted, not prosecuted by the Orange Man. And all the people who are already of a high proclivity for TDS will suddenly jump back into normal daily viewership. And although those who are in front of the camera maybe they're earnest, they're not honest, but they might be earnest. The folks behind the camera, not in front, the executives, the C-suiters, they know that this is a sweet deal. The Charlie Kirk situation, the national tragedy, absolutely turned Fox News into a dynamo in ratings. An absolute dynamo in ratings. And they have to have something. They have to find something because their viewers were becoming despondent. Their viewers were becoming depressed. And now they found their man. They found their camera guy. They found their camera FBI guy who is willing to go on camera. You think his attorney told him to do this? This guy is hubris incarnate. And they found him. And he's just the kind of guy that will do great for ratings. He will pump out the content for them, and they're going to ride this to survive this, to make it to another day. That's the plan. That's the strategy, folks. That's what they're not telling you anywhere else because they're too busy analyzing what's really going on, and will he be arrested, or not arrested, but will he be found guilty? Will he go to jail? Yada, 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 yada. Folks, we're here to tell you what's going on from the money side of this, because ultimately, from the how it's going to be reported comes down to power and money. And now you know why CNN and MSNBC secretly are celebrating behind the scenes. Folks, that's the video for the midday here on a Friday. Thanks for stopping by our way. We really do appreciate you. And let us know down in the comments, how did I do? Did the dots get connected? Did we make it make sense? Do you understand now how the game is played at the news media? We'd love to hear from you. And folks, the time is ripe to hit that hype button. We got to say goodbye now, but don't worry, do not fret, not yet, for more content is on the way. Got another one coming out at 4:30 and then 8:30 p.m. Eastern today, and 4 more videos every day, including the weekends. Folks, until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Why can't I go around topless anymore?
Because it's not appropriate.
Kevin Apollo isn't appropriate?
Kevin Apollo's like a Greek god. And besides, he does kind of wear shirts. Sometimes.
I mean, that kind of explains it.
I mean, technically Apollo is a Roman god borrowed from the Greeks, which makes sense, because he's powerful and has great takes.
Look, if you love Athena that much, you can marry him.
Nope. But I do plan to check out Lauren and Apollo on Tuesdays and Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Wait, Lauren's there? This is another opportunity to see if we can get him to watch the Highlander movies.